Good morning, everyone. I told you earlier in the week I was going to put out a video on the supplements that I take, and so here is that video. Before we get started, I want to let everyone know I am in no way a medical professional. I'm not giving anyone advice on what to take. I'm just telling you the supplements that I take. I would suggest if you're looking into supplementing your nutrition that you would speak with a nutritionist or your healthcare provider, whoever that may be. So take that for what it's worth. I'm not suggesting that you take any of these supplements that I take. Again, this is just what I take, and this is just information for you all. Secondly, most of the supplementations that you take, when you read the label, it will say that these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. And that's true. So what happens is supplement companies are able to put out just about anything if it's labeled as a dietary supplement. It's not regulated by the FDA until there's a complaint, right? So if no one's complaining about they have side effects from the supplements that they're taking, they'll kind of stay on the shelf. So it's kind of a loose, you know, area as far as I understand it. So take that into consideration when you are taking supplements. What you're looking for is a reputable source that's been around for a long time. Like, for example, a lot of the Solaray products, they've been on the shelves for years and years and years, and they haven't been pulled off, which means, are they safe? Well, nobody has at least reported anything, and there are many things like what was the energy drink that was taken off the Bang Energy? Their claim was that they had so much creatine in it, and it turned out maybe they didn't even have creatine, or the creatine they sourced wasn't good, But again, that's until somebody kind of complains about it or has some problems, it may stay on the shelf. So what you're looking for when you are taking supplements is a valuable and reputable source. I use Nature's Paradise Health Food Store for about all my supplements because they've been around here for 20 years here in Emporia, and they've carried a lot of the same brands, and like the Cal as well, KAL. These I've been taking these supplements for years and years. So, and again, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionalist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional in any way. This is just, the information that I'm putting out to you all. So I'm going to start out with what I take and kind of why I take them. I know somebody in the comments earlier in the week, one of my followers had suggested that you need some kind of a genetic test to see what you are deficient in. And that could be true, right? If you're willing to do that, I think Gary Brecka has an online site that you could take a genetic test to see what you are deficient in as far as supplements, and then that's probably all the supplements you need to take. I think it's around $500 or $600. You may be able to find some cheaper or one online. I'm not exactly sure. I have not taken that genetic test personally. I take supplementation off of kind of what I feel I need to take and what has been suggested to me and some of the research that I've done, and on how I feel sometimes. Not that like you can take these supplements and you're gonna notice a difference right away, but I'll tell you what I've noticed here. About 2 years ago, I went to Nature's Paradise and I talked to the owner, Will Spencer, and I said, "Look, man, you've known me for years, and I've always carried some kind of a sniffy, runny nose. I've always had a lot of sinus issues, allergy problems. It seems like I would kind of pick up sinus infections kind of quickly, and when the weather changes, I'm, getting nasally and things like that. It's been like a little over 2 years that I've been doing this. Here recently, I thought I was getting sick. Like the last week, I felt bad. I felt like I was getting sick. When you kind of get that scratchy throat and the runny nose, and it's like, here it comes, right? But it never came. So I haven't been sick, really sick, in about 2 years, excuse me. So I believe that whatever I'm doing seems to be working because historically, like I said, I always have these sinus issues, maybe a runny nose. It's just a little sniffly, especially when it gets cold out. And that hasn't changed much. When it gets cold, I go out into the cold air, and my nose just starts kind of has some clear. It starts running clear drainage, right? But I don't get sick, or I haven't been. All right. So let's start this off. This is ashwagandha, L-theanine, and magnesium. Okay. And I use this brand. This is not a Nature's Paradise product. I also have ADHD, and when I get something in my head, I kind of stick to it. So Will carries these products as well. He just doesn't carry this specific brand, and I happen to like the ingredients. Has ashwagandha, L-theanine, and magnesium. It's a blend. It says for stress and mood, and that's probably the ashwagandha. The L-theanine and magnesium is good for me to help me sleep. It does kind of regulate that to where I can kind of get to sleep a little better and stay that way. At least it seems to me. Okay, so that's ashwagandha, L-theanine, and magnesium. This says it's an advanced adaptogen complex, and these are also methylated just as well as the next one I'm about to show you is a B complex. Now the B complex has a multitude of vitamins, B6, B12, B9. Now I think you have to be careful with the B9 because the way a lot of times that they'll get the B9 in there, it has some sort of, I want to say arsenic, but it's like a really low dose. But the way that the way that the government kind of allows supplementation is if it has a tiny bit of something, maybe it won't affect you over, just a couple of doses, but years and years of building, poison in your system, it's going to catch up to you. So you got to kind of be careful. Again, you want to value a reputable source, and then you want to pay attention to the content of it and the ingredient. So this is a methylated B complex. You can look that up and kind of see a little bit more. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to give you guys some wrong information on that. But this is a super B complex. It's from the same company. And that's what I would suggest when you were looking for a B vitamin, that it's a methylated B vitamin. So again, super B complex, B vitamins. For me, this is before I was taking the B complex, I would not have as much, I would say energy in the morning, but I wouldn't be as alert and energetic as I am with the B complex. It kind of helps me through the day, it seems, at least. Now, this is Ultra D3, so this is vitamin D. And the reason I take vitamin D specifically in the winter time is because we get vitamin D. Our body will naturally make the vitamin D as long as the sun's touching our skin. Well, wintertime, we're bundled up a lot. I've got a hoodie on now, so my skin's not nearly as exposed to the sun, so I'm not going to get that conversion or that B vitamin naturally. So I supplement, and this is what these all are supplements for the things that our bodies aren't getting, right? And the D vitamin, I feel, is very important for health and wellness. And so I take a supplement. I don't necessarily take nearly as much during the summer because I'm out in the sun quite often, and I feel like I probably get a good amount of vitamin D. Also, folks, if you are eating a healthy diet of whole foods, you're going to get a lot of these. You may not need to supplement as much if you're getting these healthy foods. And also people will say, but Garrett, these supplements are so expensive, and I do take a slew of supplements, but how often are you going out to eat every month, right? Are you going to McDonald's? If you're going to McDonald's and Arby's and Brahms and you're going to these fast food places, and not to put these specific restaurants on blast, it's just what came to my head. If you're eating a lot of fast food, number one, stop eating the fast food and you'll get healthier, and you'll also be able to afford more supplementation because you're not wasting it on fast food. So buy some whole foods, eat those, getting better nutrient from the whole food, and then you won't maybe need the supplementation. I, for one, I hardly ever eat fast food. I tend to spend my money on whole foods and then the supplementation just so I can have a healthier lifestyle. Not recommending that you do this. I'm just telling you what I take. If you are going to do this, is what I'm suggesting, that you just think about it a little bit. If I could just not go out to eat a couple times a week, because a lot of people go out to eat, several times a week, and that's probably not the healthiest choice that you're making. Cut that out, you'll have extra money, and then you can afford other things that are healthy. So just food for thought on that, food for thought, supplement for thought. So the vitamin D3 is the third one that I take. Next, zinc, copper, and this one has kelp and pumpkin seed. Don't care about the kelp and pumpkin seed. I care about the zinc and copper. Again, this is a Solaray brand, very well-known and trusted brand. It's been out on the market for years and years. Very good stuff. Immune system, right? Again, a lot of times the supplementations that I take is because I've had these sinus issues over the course of my life, and since I've started taking these things, zinc, anytime I'm starting to get sick, or I feel sick, it's zinc and vitamin C. I up the dose on the vitamin C, I up the dose on the zinc. Am I telling you to do that? Absolutely not. I'm just saying it works for me. It seems that I can get over my colds and sicknesses a little faster, and because I take this daily, again, I have not had a cold. I'm going to get to the next supplement that I take, and I think this is probably the main reason why I don't get sick nearly as often is monolaurin. And the reason I take the monolaurin, again, Nature's Life has been out for a good amount of time. This is from raw coconut. And what the monolaurin is lauric acid. When you're eating the raw coconut, this lauric acid is another immune system builder. It builds your immune system. It helps. So if you're just going to go take, you think you're going to take a couple of monolaurin and then that's going to do the trick. No, I believe that monolaurin could take up to 6 months to really build in your system to where it has positive effects. And you need to take a couple, 2 to 4 tablets a day. This is 1,000 milligrams. I take 2 tablets, so I'm taking 2,000 milligrams a day of this. And that's just where I felt that it seems to work. I don't need any more. I don't need any less, probably. It feels good. So I'm sticking with this. Monolaurin is my favorite because I believe that is probably the ticket to why I've been so healthy. This will, kind of regulate your gut biome. At least I believe so. I could be giving you some false information there, but it works for me. Again, this is my experience with stuff. I'm not telling you to take it. I'm just letting you know what I take. So monolaurin, for me, is the ticket. Builds a great immune system, okay? Another immune system or sinus support. This isn't for your immune system, but this is called megaquercetin. I take 600 milligrams of this a day. It's the Solaray brand, a well-trusted brand. Sinus support and immune system, so maybe it does have some immune support. I know that since I started taking this, my runny noses, that when I do go out into the cold, it's not nearly as bad. I don't have that stream of, clear discharge that I typically would. And I am attributing this to the megaquercetin. Now, whether that's true or not, again, my experience. Magnesium, okay? Now, my wife, I think, it was a Sunday, Nature's Paradise wasn't open, and I was, again, my ADHD brain says I'm out of magnesium and I have to get it today. And she got me like a 3-pack of the magnesium. It was cheap. And so I take it before bed. I already get the magnesium from the L-theanine in the morning, but I take this at night, just a 250 milligram tablet, and it seems to kind of help as far as getting to sleep and sleeping through the night. Whether it's that or not, I still have nights where I don't sleep that well, so that may not be exactly a perfect supplement, but I do try and take it. Okay, again, zinc citrate with pumpkin seed, 50 milligram. It's did I accidentally? Okay, I've already went over the zinc. I apologize. I have new bottles of that I accidentally brought over here. So I've already covered the zinc. We're not going to do that. The Nordic Naturals, another good brand to take. This is an omega-3. It's a once daily. Heart, brain, and immune health. It's well known that the fatty acids from the omega-3s, omega-3 fatty acids help with immune system, heart, brain function. I think the reason a lot of people would take the fat Um, a lot of the industry has pushed people away from fat, and which is odd because they don't push you away from carbohydrates, which really don't have a great effect on the health system, especially if you're getting them from boxed foods. A lot of these boxed dinners and the ramen and things like that is just filler foods or filler. It'll fill you up a little bit, but there's no nutritional value to speak of in there. Just kind of sustaining you, and at the same time having some bad side effects, right? Like if you eat boxed dinners, you eat Hamburger Helper every night, yeah, you're getting some good, fat and protein from the beef, but you're also adding a ton of carbohydrates. It's just filler foods. I don't believe that it's healthy in any way to eat processed food. I think that you get a well balanced diet and a better nutritional value from whole foods, right? Just the ground beef. If you're going to eat, cut some onions up, and even maybe some potato, some light potatoes in there. Make a hash instead of making a macaroni and cheese or whatever it is. These box foods are horrible for you. There's just no way of getting around it. So omega-3 fatty acids. Now, again, vitamin C, most of the vitamin C's that you're going to get are synthetic vitamin C. It's absorbic acid. I'm not a big proponent of taking a synthetic, so what I take is ester C. This is derived from actual plants and not made in a lab from absorbic acid. This is my preference. Ester C. It's reasonably priced. It's 90 capsules, and I take this daily. And if you are going to take a vitamin C supplement, I would recommend, if you are going to do it, that it would be from a natural source, not just a synthetic blend. So that's it, folks. That's what I take every day, religiously. That's my experience. It seems to have helped me. I started this regimen a couple years ago because I just seemed like I was getting sick often, catching little colds and little viruses, and I have not had that experience in about 2 years. So take it for what it's worth, and this is my experience. Everybody's body's a little bit different, but I believe if you are on a whole food diet and you are supplementing, that you are going to benefit yourself in a way. If you just cut out the fast food, it's not like you're cut. I think that's maybe another thing. I cut out the fast food. I rarely eat anything from a Hardee's or any of these chains, because it's processed and it's just, there's a ton of carbohydrates and not a lot of fat and protein. And I think a lot of industry has pushed back. They want you to have sugar, they want you to have caffeine, they want you to have the carbohydrates. Your body, it gets addicted to things, and I think sugar is one that this has been an industry push to get people addicted to sugar. They put it in everything. I mean, you look at everything, and just sugar, if you think about it, there's fructose, glucose, lactose. That's all sugar. So you're drinking milk. There's going to be a conversion to sugar. I'm not saying milk is bad for you. There are some great benefits for it, but I don't think it should be a staple in your diet. Although I drink a ton of milk because I love it, and I'm kind of hard for me to stop drinking it. I try to not drink it. I try to limit it, but man, I love milk. But just be cautious, be aware that you are eating foods that people say, this is a food, but like I said, it'll fill you up, but is it giving you the nutritional value that you need from day to day? I don't believe so. All right, I'm gonna get off my soapbox here. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you, and have a great day.